Hi, DuBose. Thank you for joining us on Ample News. Let's dive right in. With all the buzz around agentic AI in marketing, how do you see agencies like New Classic leveraging these technologies to enhance brand strategy and deliver more effective results for clients?
So I think agencies have always faced the challenge, and that thinking needs to still be very robust, but it needs to be faster and faster to keep up with the market, with technology, with culture. And I think one of the opportunities in agentic AI and AI in general is the ability to test different outcomes, evaluate things, and help make decisions faster, but also see the implications of those decisions faster. So I think what you're going to see from agencies like ours and others are the ability to amplify a strategist's ability to think about outcomes and to build better strategies faster. Agentic AI is going to be amazing and is already amazing for bringing proactive thinking, identifying opportunities, and doing a lot of the things that great strategists and great agencies already did.
That's a great perspective, DuBose. What do you see as the biggest opportunities for agencies using agentic AI right now?
So I think one of the largest ones is going to be testing different outcomes faster. So what I mean by that is a lot of traditional strategy is about getting together, making a decision, helping a brand figure out a way forward, and then putting that out into the world. While feedback loops have become faster and faster. 20, 30 years ago, you would put a campaign out and then a few months later, see if it worked, talk about post campaign analysis and what you would do in the future. That became pretty much always on in today's current marketing landscape. I think what we're going to see is the ability to do faster scenario planning, faster analysis of what's working, and more meaningful optimization. Optimization so far, a lot of the time, really means kind of tactical changes to advertising or a brand's communication. But I think what you can see now is more strategic optimization, considering wider changes faster, because AI and agentic tools are helping us to understand not just what's working and what isn't, what we should do about that, and then helping to facilitate greater human decision making behind it.
Absolutely. Speed and depth of insight are game changers. On the flip side, what are the biggest challenges or risks you anticipate as agencies adopt agentic AI more widely?
I think one of the largest challenges is going to be differentiation. As more and more agencies get these tools and more brands take these tools in house, there'll be a question of how do you differentiate your offering? If everyone's using similar tools or tools that are at least perceived to be similar, how do you stand out? And I think a lot of that is going to come down to the data being fed into these tools and the way they're being used, the philosophy behind them. They are, at the end of the day, tools. They aren't the complete answer. And how agencies approach and build an AI philosophy and how brands expect AI to create different outcomes is going to be what creates differentiation in the market. I think until we see that, there's going to be a lot of conversation about a sea of sameness in AI, where people tend to go, well, we all have the same tools. Why do I need someone else? And I think what we're going to see is that specialist philosophies and specialist data are going to start to prove out to get better outcomes and different outcomes from these tools as the market tends to mature.
That's a really thoughtful take, DuBose. Before we wrap, what advice would you give to agencies or brands just starting to explore agentic AI for their marketing strategies?
Be intentional about it, but also experiment.
Great advice.
What I mean by that is really, at the end of the day, bringing in AI into any workflow doesn't have to mean that you overhaul it completely right away. Instead, build some hypotheses about what you think AI is going to help you do better. Find some tasks that you wish you could spend more time on, and try to use agentic workflows to answer those. What you'll find over time is where there are going to be strengths and weaknesses, both technically in your workflows as an agency, and then also where there are opportunities and where culturally it may not be a fit for you. Just because something is technically possible doesn't mean that it's going to be culturally possible for your agency or organization.
That's excellent advice. Intentionality and experimentation really do go hand in hand, especially with emerging tech like agentic AI. DuBose, thank you for sharing your insights on how agencies can leverage, differentiate, and thoughtfully adopt agentic AI. It's been a pleasure having you on Ample News. Take care And thanks again for joining us.